Conference will now be recorded.
Okay, here we go. We're off and running. So this is Rick, and I am just helping the moderators today because Kim is taking her mother to a medical appointment, and we don't quite know where Hannah is, and I'm not sure about the rest of the team. But anyway, I am here to help. I am not a peer, although I do know a little bit about MS, but only because I've been so well schooled by this group over the last 5 or 6 years. And we do have Andrea, Carmen, and Alyssa, who are all moderators, soon to be very capable, but well, Andrea's has the experience. And I'm going to hand over to Carmen to lead the group for today. And just to remind Carmen, please check on who your new people are, see them, speak to them first, and please check with everybody who needs time to follow up.
Thanks so
And
much,
I
Rick.
will turn off my camera.
So good morning, everybody. My name is Carmen, and I have primary progressive MS, and I am here to moderate, and I am just really learning. So I just ask for your patience with me today, but welcome. This is a group that's our message or our meeting is being recorded, and that's available on YouTube. And just so that you know that beforehand. So what I'd like to do is just go around and have everybody introduce yourself. You can just give your name, your diagnosis, a little brief intro, and I want to especially welcome. I think it's Michelle here that I haven't seen you before, so welcome. You're one of our new attendees. So if you'd like to start, you can introduce yourself, and then what we also do is just we just say if we need some time to talk or not. So it's just kind of a chance to quickly check in, and we just want to see if there's anything that we can help you with right away, and then we'll just go around and do some intros. So welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Michelle, and I have secondary progressive MS, and I am in Seattle. I have had MS for 10 years and a couple months, some chump change. Yeah, I'm so glad I'm here because I've been wanting to join your group for a while, but it's always finding time or remembering that it's here. So I appreciate you folks being here for us.
And this is Rick Michelle. We'll come
Yeah.
back to you and let us give you an elongated version of your story because we like to do that with all new people as soon as we've been round to see
Oh,
who
good. Okay.
needs time. Okay.
No problem at all. So thank you for being here.
Well, welcome to a fellow West Coaster. I'm in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada. I forgot to say that at the beginning. So we're on the same time zone at least. So we'll check in with you in a bit. Thanks.
Oh, hey. Sorry.
That's okay, John. Hi, Alyssa, would you like to check in?
I would love to as another West Coaster. My name is Alyssa, and I have relapsed and remitting multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed in 2000, so I've had it for 25 years. I am one of the not as prepared moderators, and I'm currently on Mavenclad. But yeah, that's the quick in and out for me because I could talk for hours.
Do you want any time today?
Time? I don't need time.
Okay, thanks, Alyssa. Andrea, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. My name is Andrea. I live on the North Carolina Outer Banks, so about as far away from you West Coasters as possible. I'm as east as you can get on the continental United States. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2012, even though I believe I'd been suffering with the disease for at least 2 decades prior to that diagnosis. I'm on Ocrevus, and Carmen, I need time. I might take a lot of time.
Okay. Thanks, Andrea. Alex, welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Alex. I'm from California. I have relapsing remitting MS. I was diagnosed earlier this year in January. And yeah, I'd like a minute to talk.
Great.
Alex, have you been to this group before?
Yeah, I would say like a month ago. I did one
Yeah.
on a Tuesday night.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I
I
recognize it.
remember, yeah.
So yeah,
I'm trying to remember where. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you're in Orange County or San Diego County.
I
Is
am,
that
yeah,
right?
Orange County. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back again. Thanks for coming back. I wasn't sure if I had seen you before. I'm not at every single meeting, so we're happy to have you. Thanks. Louise, how are you doing there? I know you can't quite get your camera on, but I see your microphone's on. So would you like to introduce yourself? Maybe you're there, maybe you're not.
There
Maybe
was
we'll.
one point that I saw her on twice.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
maybe
having
this
some
is her
problems
second.
today.
Okay.
Yeah, she's having some problems with stuff today, so.
Okay, well, then we'll just carry on and hopefully she can join us. John, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, hi, I'm John, and I'm from a small town in Michigan. So, the best I could say is I live by Grand Rapids, Michigan. I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting in 2016. I'm currently taking Zeposia, but that may change with the new year. Do I need time? Meh, we'll see what comes up, but I'm here to help and listen. And I need to jog my own memory. Alex, did we talk about concerts the last time you were here?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, yeah, that's Alex. I was excited to hear about my concert. Oh my gosh, yeah. All right, cool. See, it's there. It's somewhere. So
Somewhere, some of us can remember something.
dude, I remember everyone that says that, like, "Oh, John, you're such an inspiration." Joking. Alex, we gotta talk music someday, and Funko Pops. So we're all
And
good. I'm
what?
good.
Funko
But it's
Pops?
if you know thing.
Okay. All right. Well,
All the little things on the
clearly I
shelves.
don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Talk
okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Carmen, you're not missing out.
No? Okay.
Uh-uh.
Well, thanks. John might
These
differ in opinion.
This is true.
these are my Hormel is not the right word. What are the little white special moments things that people Carmen age collect?
Yeah.
Precious moments?
Yeah.
Precious
Something like
moment
that?
things. Yeah. But
Yeah,
that's an
that's
assumption too. I think that would be older than me, actually, not me. Like, come on, I'm way younger than that, John.
all I know is you're at least a year older than me, and that was fine.
Okay,
All
well,
right, yeah, I'm
I'll
good.
give you that. Okay, have I missed anybody? I think I've gotten everybody. I wanted to come back to Michelle. We really want to welcome you to the group, and we're so happy that you have finally made it. It sounds like you've thought about it for a little while and meant to join. So we're happy you're here. We hope that the bumps that this meeting might be don't scare you away.
Uh-uh.
We just keep it real here, though, so it does go a little smoother with a more experienced moderator at times. But you know what? This is the reality of MS, and we're here to support each other. So I just wanted to check in and ask you if you'd like to give us a little bit more about yourself, and if you have any questions or anything that has kind of been, sitting at the back of your mind that you've been wanting to ask a group of your peers. We're here for you. So you have the floor and just go ahead.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Sorry if I took too long in my introduction. I didn't know where I
No,
was going.
Absolutely
not at
not.
all.
I actually don't always know where I'm going, but no, and yeah, hi, hey Alex, I'm from California originally too, so like most people from the Pacific Northwest. So yeah, I grew up in Altadena, in Pasadena as a kid. So um, but uh, no, I don't really have any questions right now. I usually sit back and listen for a little bit and till I get comfortable with where I am at. And but yeah, I'm just happy to be in a room with people again with MS. So it's really nice to have that. I miss it since like the pandemic when people used to meet in person more. So yeah, it's good in Seattle though because there's lots of people here with MS and which is not a great thing, of course, but it's nice to be around other people with MS as well. So, and Andrea, I know where you live, and it's a beautiful part of the world. I love the Outer Banks so much, so gorgeous there. So, yeah. Um, but yes, thank you for having me. And I forgot to mention I'm on Ocrevus as well. So I had my infusion yesterday, and I slept through 7 alarms this morning. So
Oh,
yes,
Yeah.
hey, you
with the
still
phone
made it.
right next to my head. 7 alarms it took to get up. So yeah,
We know those days.
yes. So here I am.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Have you been involved with a support group there in your area?
Not here in my area, other than at the MS Center at University of Washington is where I go, and I feel yeah, it's an awesome place actually. I was diagnosed down in LA at University of Southern California, and then I
Are you
begged my
serious?
husband to come back up to the Pacific Northwest where we had been living. Um, but yeah, I'm originally from San Francisco, and then I came up to the Pacific Northwest in the um, early 20s, 2000, basically, um, and then had to go back down to LA for a little while. But but no, I have a support group that I do belong to. That's I kind of just fell into when I was doing a um a research study, which I actually do some research studies, which I find kind of a nice way to meet other people too. And I joined a support group. Most of the ladies are from the East Coast, and they're a lot older than me. One lady's actually 80, and the other ladies are mostly in their 60s and 70s, and they're actually wonderful. There's only about 8 of us, and we meet twice a week, and so it's really nice. So that's
Wow.
one of the groups, and then a group I was in before
Really
were
nice.
all international people.
Hmm.
So it was actually really wonderful, um, and all different kinds of illnesses. So that was actually a really interesting perspective, and I was with them for many years. So yeah, so
And that first group you were talking about, the research group, you had
mhm.
members that were that age in a research group?
Yes, actually, and then
Wow.
they branched off, and we ended up just making a group together, and it's really nice. Yeah, actually, it was a research group, and it was on how mindfulness can help people with MS. So
Hmm.
it's actually been wonderful. That was really cool. And yeah, several of the ladies are in New York, and then upstate New York, and yeah, just kind of spread out in the middle of the country, the United States. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm actually the lone person out here in the Pacific Northwest in that group. So on the West Coast, but yeah, I've done quite a few research studies through University of Washington and other research facilities. This is kind of I don't know. I feel like it's a good way to give back to the illness and just to help as much as I can. I don't know, it feels like I'm doing something, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives me a reason to get up in the morning too. I am a writer by trade too. I used to be a journalist, so I am trying to get back to doing a little more writing again and attempting to do some freelance work right now. It's a little hard, but I'm doing it slowly. So yeah.
Michelle,
Mhm.
we actually have a writing group.
Oh, I saw you did, and I've been wanting to go. And you guys have a lot of groups, so it's always hard to keep track of what time when one meets. But yeah, I saw that, and I've been wanting to join that. Yeah, been really wanting to join that. It looks really good. So it'll give me a reason to actually, write more creatively too. So rather than just journalistically. So thank you.
If
Yeah, for that
Yeah,
reminder.
if
I think a
anyone
couple
goes
people
to the
belong
writing
there,
group,
right?
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
No,
what'd
go
you
ahead,
say?
Tom.
I was just going to say that is Karen still going to that group? Because
Yes.
we never see Karen here anymore, and sometimes I just think about if she's doing all right or not.
Yeah. So just a quick point out to the room. I put my hand up. We like to put our hands up because that way it keeps order. I did try putting my hand up, but I am gonna jump in now.
I was
Yes,
getting to you
Karen
next,
is,
Rick.
thank you. Karen is in that group and she does attend pretty regularly. She did show up in a MS group recently. Uh, can't remember, like in within
A
the
little
last
while
month.
back.
Yes. So I had a question for Michelle. Um, but before that, Michelle, I just wanted to let you know, I don't want to get personal, but we do have an under 45s group as well. So I don't know how old you are, and we're not strict on rules in the under 45s group. So even if you're a little bit over, nobody's going to argue. But the point of that group really is to um, to try and address what we just heard from you. We hear from a lot of people that a lot of times in these MS groups tends to be older people. And the younger people said, we want a group so that we can talk about the issues that impact us. And that under 45s group is the,
Last Thursday of every month.
thank you, the last Thursday in every month. I also wanted to say, if you are not signed up, please sign up because we send out reminders.
Mm.
And those reminders are kind of a cross between a reminder and a newsletter. So you can either put your email in the chat window, either to everybody, because people will reach out to you. We're very proud of that at AnCan. People like to talk to people outside the group. Or you can send it to me privately in the chat window. We'll get you in and we'll sign you up for the writing class, and we'll sign you up for the under 45s and the regular MS. And it's all, they're all free, they're all drop in, you don't have to reserve anything. The only one is the art class, because we use a different room, so they send out so Hannah sends out a separate link. Hannah is a moderator in the under 45s. She also teaches the art class because that's what her training is in. She's a trained art for health, or whatever they call it, or that's what she does, and she does it very well. And that's a lovely class. Here's my question for you, because this has come up a few times. Love to hear what you have to say about this. So there seems to be quite a bit of debate about whether secondary progressive, you can be treated with secondary progressive, and if you can, with what. And we've definitely heard that Ocrevus is used. In fact, we have a gent who sometimes attends, um, who lives now in South America, in Colombia, and they've suggested Ocrevus for him, but he's older. He's well over 70. And so just really interested to hear what you have to say about the use of Ocrevus for people with secondary progressive. And Louise has her hand up, but we'll come back to Louise after you answer that.
Yeah, I am definitely over 45, which I state that for several reasons, but mostly because of the Ocrevus in your question of secondary progressive MS. And my doctor is the director of the University of Washington's MS Center, and she had pushed Ocrevus because she said that they weren't positive about it treating secondary progressive MS. but they had a lot of good research on it treating secondary progressive MS and the possibility that it could actually slow the disease down. I've been on it now for 2.5 years, and I have seen it help me tremendously.
Oh, really?
Yes, tremendously. I
Wow.
have but I also will add a caveat that I'm very, very careful with what I eat. And I also I get out and move every single day. But I have a very strict diet that I keep on myself, as far as and it's just self-imposed. This is my own research. And so I think it partly has to do with that too. But I think the Ocrevus doesn't hurt. It's really helped me a lot. So that's just my own story with it. They're talking about slowing me down on it only because, and that scares me because of my age. Because it does, really impact your B cells and your immunity. And they worry that after a while, if that your immunity will ever bounce back and as you get older. And so she's talking about going to a half dose now of it and then eventually taking me off of it because of that. Because as you get older, I might then lose my immunity altogether. But I have not found that it's affected my immunity. I've never had, I only had COVID once in this whole pandemic, and it was recently, and that was just because I put myself out to exposure more than normal. Yeah, I found it's really helped me a lot.
I think we have people who want to talk about this. Go ahead, Andrea.
I just wanted to say that I don't believe in primary progressive, secondary progressive, relapsing. I don't believe that they matter. I
Yeah.
believe it's all multiple sclerosis. And I think that they hurt us by separating out what is one disease. On my chart, it says that I have secondary progressive MS.
Mhm.
But I don't call that out because, again, I don't believe in it. I
Mhm.
just don't believe in it.
Mhm.
And I too am on Ocrevus. And yes, I believe that it is slowing things down. So, Michelle, I don't know how old you are. I'm 56 years old. Now you're starting to worry me, right? Like, because, well, that's part of what I want to talk about when I get
Mhm.
my time is the doctors not explaining squat to me about everything that they're prescribing. So I'm glad you have a doctor that thinks about these things. But I would wonder what the research says. And she's probably going by the research.
I also make sure I actually attend a lot of lectures outside the University of Washington, the Bowling Institute, and also University of Colorado. Several of those kind of are some of the heavy research ones in the United States, and they have monthly and bi-monthly lectures, and I attend those, and also the Fridays MS talks. That's it's like Friday at 10 o'clock here on the West Coast. They have bring in doctors from all over the world to talk. And so I try to attend as much as I can. I'm kind of a research nerd because of my journalism background. So, and I know that my doctors, they don't have time to give me everything. So that's kind of why I do. And yes, I agree with you as well, Andrea, that's kind of where the whole I think the tide is turning on separating us out. I think that is exactly what's going to change in the future, and that's where it's going, is that they're going to stop differentiating us from each other. And I think that we're all going to see that happen. And that's already starting to be in the works. So you're already ahead of the game.
That's very encouraging. It can be
Yeah.
so limiting if you have that label on you and you're not
Yes.
eligible for
Yes.
something that may or yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're very well connected with some research, and we're going to value your input and resources. So thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, no problem.
hmm Andrea, did you have anything else that you wanted to ask Michelle there? I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, only that I'm glad we have somebody in the group that has access to all of that information, access to hear speakers, access to those things. When I moved to the Outer Banks, I did it for personal reasons. My doctor warned me that the Outer Banks is a neurological desert. The closest neurologist to me is an hour and a half away. I stayed with my neurologist in Raleigh, which is a 3-hour drive from here. So, there's 0 lectures. There's 0 anything that's close enough for me to attend. I get what I can off of watching videos on YouTube and things like that. The Ectrons will put stuff out on YouTube, but it's really, really tough. And I kind of wanted to address John's message in chat. He says that seems like everybody knows much more about the research that's going on than he does.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily, John. It's just what are you able to get to? What kind of bandwidth do you have to research it? And is it something that you have a penchant for? Like Michelle says, she's kind of a researcher in her journalistic background. I like to find out what I can outside of my doctors, because as I've mentioned, my doctors don't tell me anything.
My excuse me, my neurologist is very upfront with me and sends me stuff once in a while. But I do live honestly an hour or more away from any of that kind of accessibility to programs to go to. And honestly, the hour away is not like a small town. It's a big town, but it's not all the money's in Detroit. All right. You're in Michigan, you get that. All the money and all the stuff is in Detroit or Ann
What
Arbor.
about Grand Rapids?
It's an MS center, but only a new one, and I don't think there's much going on. You know what I mean? Like in fact, my neurologist left Grand Rapids because of stuff that wasn't going right. So now to see her face to face, I drive an hour and a half. But you know what? I've fired so many neurologists that I'm sticking with this one no matter what. She keeps me up to date. But yeah, like the only thing I can do is my own research. And sometimes during the day, that's like the least of my concerns, you know.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 I think you said it exactly right, Andrea. Like there are times in your life where you might have a little bit more energy and space for looking at research, and there are other times where you're just doing all you can do to just get through the days. So I think we just have to have grace for ourselves. And I say this because I'm trying to repeat it often enough that I actually hear it myself. But having grace for those times where we just don't have the capacity for that. But that's where a group like this is so great because, sharing just even informally in a group like this can sometimes twig something and, you make a connection and, someone like Michelle might have some resources that she can share that make it so much easier for us. And so that's one of the greatest things about having this type of a group of peers. So that's
Okay.
great.
I'm going to
So-
jump in real fast.
Okay.
No, John, go ahead.
Okay. This just popped in my head, and before it goes away, does AnCan have a Discord where we can share all the stuff together? Alyssa, do you see what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I know I've never used it, but I'm going to talk to Hannah. because
Okay.
that's
So,
that would be her forte.
okay.
You can
So
say
the,
hi
the
because
answer to
everyone
that,
is listening in this one.
the answer to that
You're not
is, we have had forums for a long time, and they're set up, but nobody's ever used them. We've tried to use them with the MS, and we're probably going to drop them very soon because it seems like people don't need them. And um, like I say, I think we recently took
It's
them
just hard
off
to
because they,
maintain them if not that many people are going to
right.
it, right?
Okay. I
And
understand.
it's not just that, but they confuse people when they sign up. They think they've got to register for the forum, which they don't. It's very important to us that people recognize that everything is free and drop in at AnCan. You don't need you don't need to register, pre-register, or anything else, and that causes a lot of confusion. So I don't think we're going to come back to that, although we do recognize that it is great to share resources. One way we do that is through the reminders and the newsletters. So if Michelle has great resources, she can send them to Kim. Kim is our normal lead moderator. You can send them to Hannah or to us. Kim is kim@ancan.org. Hannah is hannah@ancan.org. And you can send them anything, and we'll make sure it gets into the reminder. The other thing we can do is we can make a blog post. We can help you make a blog post, and then if you search under MS, your blog will tag that blog post, and it'll come up as a blog post. So those are some ways around it. And I want to welcome Mike, who's calling in from Colombia. Mike, you just missed a question that I asked on your behalf, so you'll need to listen to the recording so we don't repeat it. But Michelle is new with secondary progressive and is using Ocrevus, but she's a little bit younger than you are. And
I hope a lot younger.
yeah, and we were talking about that, and Alyssa has patiently been waiting, so I'm going to pass it back to the moderators and to Alyssa.
I am one of the moderators, yes. And I just want you to know that in the 45 and under group, Hannah and I have set up a group text.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Because the fact, like, there's things you need to talk about, but you need more than just one day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then also, you had said that you've been on Ocrevus for how long?
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years. Yeah. 3 years actually. Yeah.
And they want to lower your dosage?
Yes.
Okay. I was on Ocrevus for about 5 years.
Wow.
I think I've been on 8 different medications. And I had gotten COVID twice and pneumonia once because of the B cell depletion.
Mm-hmm.
It opens you up to infections. But when you stop taking the Ocrevus, your B cells are still depleted for a minute. So if the doctor wants to stretch you, you may be okay.
Okay.
But as I said, 8 different medications. Start on Avonex, did Betaseron, Tysabri, Gilenya.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I've done a bunch. I've done a plethora of them. Had
Yeah.
it for 5 years.
Mm.
But yeah, so absolutely don't be too scared by your doctor
Mm-hmm.
stretching it out, because also when I had gotten COVID twice, I ended up not being able to do my infusion every 6 months.
Wow. Yeah. Yep.
I still had the depleted B cells.
Yeah.
So just because you don't get it doesn't mean it's not still working on your body.
Okay. That's good to remember. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
Wow.
And I keep seeing that Louise is trying to join us.
Yeah, Rick and I have just been talking about how she can join next time, or Rick
Okay.
even said, suggest you call assistance.
Okay.
And she said she'll be back next time.
That is fantastic. We would love that.
Absolutely.
I'm having trouble reading. I don't know what's going on with my glasses. I think I need to get them adjusted. So thank you for helping me out, John.
Well, holy shit, we're all a little bit off today, aren't we? Just like okay. We're all a little off all of the time, each and every day, right? You guys know me. I'm off all the time. It just feels like right now there's something just a little bit extra.
See you tomorrow.
I think that's something with the fact that we're changing the clocks.
Okay, great.
See you
Yeah,
tomorrow.
maybe.
But yeah, no, it's the time of year.
And you turn off the camera.
Oh, I know a little part of it today is that I finished couples therapy and then came right to this.
Oh.
So I am letting off some steam mentally. And that's why I don't have anything to talk about today.
Understood.
Maybe a wise decision after just finishing counseling session. Yes, John. Yeah. Although your contributions just throughout are always valuable and, appreciated. I wanted to say hi to Mike. I know Rick kind of acknowledged you, Mike, but and we just lost your camera here. But if you wanted to say hello and introduce yourself to say hi to the group, we welcome you to join here. Perhaps you got busy with something else.
He's probably gonna call, because last time what happened was he called and then because we couldn't talk to him, so then he had his camera on and then was on the phone.
No, but he was on with the camera and it was working because I heard him and whoever his assistant was there. But now it seems that he's muted. So,
by the way, I am in California. I'm in Los Angeles. I know I just said that I was on the West Coast, but I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Is it Los Angeles? Separate. Never mind.
No. Go ahead. John,
the first thing that popped in my head was, wait, you live in California? Is that on the West Coast? Yeah, that's on the West Coast. What the fuck is she talking about? That's what went through my mind in one split of 1/100th of a second.
John, it happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Michelle, something that I say is we don't need doctors. We need electricians to fix the stripped wires in our brain.
That's the truth. Yep, that is the truth. Fix those connections. Rewire them.
And
where do you go to UCLA, Alyssa, or where do you go?
Actually, I started at UCLA with Dr. Nancy Sykott.
Yes, I know who she is.
And then I followed her to Cedars-Sinai.
Oh yes, Sinai. Mm-hmm.
And
nice.
I've been seeing her for 25 years.
Have you really? She's phenomenal.
And I was really lucky because when she was at UCLA, she wasn't supposed to take continued patients.
Wow. Yeah, you are lucky.
She's like, I'll continue with you, Alyssa.
Wow. Yeah, you can't even get it. I mean, yeah, if I would have stayed down there or if I had gotten someone like her, yeah, she's amazing.
She really is
amazing. Yeah, she's like the queen of MS. Yep. Yeah.
She really is.
Yep.
John, you put your hand up again there. Were you wanting to add something else?
I had a question. How the fuck have you heard of her doctor? Like, honestly,
because her doctor is extremely well known in Los Angeles. I lived in LA
Okay.
and I was
Okay.
diagnosed at USC. And if you live in Los Angeles, you tend to know the different top MS doctors down there. And her
Okay.
doctors also spoke a lot on different research venues. So I've heard her doctor speak a lot in the
Okay.
different like lectures. Her doctor is like really well known.
She
So
Okay.
really is.
Okay.
yeah,
That makes a lot of
she
sense.
is like one of the
My
top
doctor,
ladies.
her background, or what she's really big with, is women's reproductive, because of the fact that when a woman is pregnant, you get 9 months symptom free.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then you have a baby and you can end up having the worst relapse of your life. But I was also told that when there was only 3 medications.
Yep.
And there was only Avonex, Betaseron, and Copaxone.
Yep.
But
That's
now
what I'm diagnosed.
you can go on something right after you give birth.
Right. I see that Mike has unmuted, and I wanted to get a chance to have him check in and say hello. Mike, are you able to say hi to the group here?
Sure.
Hi.
Um,
We had you on
Mike,
camera before too, which was great. We saw you. It looks like you had a nice haircut too, by the way.
well, thank you.
There you are.
I'm Mike I live in Medellin, Colombia, and I've had MS since 1997. I have secondary progressive. I thought I wanted to join the Ocrevus cohort here in Colombia, but my doctors at Mayo Clinic said it's not worth it to me because of my age, and I might be open to infections, so I'm not doing it. But I appreciate the support I've gotten from this group and Mayo up to this point. And if I don't get on Ocrevus, I'll just deal with things as they come.
Mike, if you take Ocrevus, you need to make sure that you always have a mask on when other people are around or when you're in public.
I'm sorry, Alyssa.
If you do take Ocrevus, I recommend that you have a mask on whenever you go out in public or have people come to you. Or actually have them put masks on.
Because
because of the depleted B cells and the infections. So the masks tend to help that from happening. They keep the infections away. Supposedly.
Thank you, Alyssa.
You're very welcome. I wanted to also go to Alex, who is a newer member. How are you doing today, Alex?
Everyone. No, yeah, I'm doing well. I don't think I mentioned it, but I am on Tysabri, the once-a-month infusion.
Yay.
Yeah. But I guess aside from that, no, I'm doing well. I guess as a follow-up from last time I attended the group, I want to say about a month ago, we talked about Ampera, and
Yes.
I did have my follow-up with the MS specialist. He would like to see a little more improvement with Tysabri before discussing Ampera. So that's where I'm at. And then I guess just personally, I'm just going through the unemployment process. I applied, so I have an interview next week. So I'm just going through that. The hope is to continue working. I know that like cognitively, I'm still here. So just trying to go day by day. I am getting my 9th infusion next week, around this time actually. So yeah, and that's where I'm at. I don't have anything else other than that to discuss. So yeah, thanks.
I have a question for everyone that pertains to Alex finding a job. Does he have to disclose his MS to his new employer?
Oh, that's a loaded question. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, you don't have to. So
Okay.
Alex, just keep that yours.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The secretary at my PT place has had MS for 25 years, and no one at her job knows.
Oh wow.
So she keeps it like to herself. Like she came out to me. What a weird phrase to use there. But we were at the MS walk, and I gave her a big hug. And I said, "Thank you for doing this for me." She said, "No, no, no, I'm doing this for you." I was diagnosed in the late 90s. I was like, "Wow, that's a big share right there, isn't it?" Like people that she's worked for forever have no idea. So Alex, just a heads up on that, because you know what I mean, guys. Just a heads up.
Okay. Okay.
Something you may
Yeah.
not have thought of.
Yeah. I actually didn't. I know that I have a once a month appointment for my infusion, and I know at some point I need to say something about that. So
Sure, absolutely.
yeah. No. No. Well. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the insight.
That's great.
Is there anybody else who?
Andrea.
Andrea.
Yeah, I need some time. We're getting close to 3 o'clock. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is my first time. I'm getting used to this, but go ahead.
so, I I think you guys might remember that I was put on Ampera several years ago. Um, and I've been on it ever since. And on September 28th, I had my pottery teacher and one fellow student, over at my house to build a pit fire because we were doing an alternative firing class. And so we were firing pottery in this pit fire. And while we were building the pit fire, I had a grand mal seizure.
My.
And, looking back, I think I'd had several, but I was alone and didn't realize it. Like one time I'm like, my tongue hurts really bad. I don't know why my tongue hurts. And then after being taken to the emergency room by an ambulance because they called when I had a seizure, my tongue hurt even worse, but the same way. And I think I was biting my tongue.
Mm.
And there was another one, I won't go all into the details. I was talking to my mom. We got disconnected. I didn't respond to her. She lives in Michigan, and she called the cops for a welfare check.
Mm.
And so it just so happened, it's fall in North Carolina it's my favorite time of year, especially on the Outer Banks. Yeah, we get some storms, but the water is warm. When the weather is good, it's amazing. It's not so hot as the summertime. The tourists mostly leave at Labor Day, so they're gone, um, especially the kids because they're in school. It's my favorite time of the month. And my mom's, I don't know what, boyfriend, his granddaughter, his daughter and her family live in Wilmington, North Carolina, and his granddaughter was getting married. So we've been planning this for a really long time. And so they hired a young man to drive them down to Wilmington. And then they came here after the wedding and dropped mom off with me for a week-long visit. They went on back to Michigan. My brother came a week later, got my mom, took her back to Northern Virginia where there's a nonstop flight for her. And she got to visit with him. So while she was here for this fabulous week-long visit, I had just had a seizure. And when you have a seizure, you can't drive for 6 months afterwards. So my 83-year-old mother, who doesn't know her way around, had to drive me to Raleigh. I mean, driving out here in the boondocks is no big deal. We don't go over 50, 55 miles an hour. But in Raleigh, the highways are 4 lanes wide and 70 miles an hour. And she doesn't know her way around. And we go to the neurologist who says, oh, well, yeah, Ampera can cause seizures.
Wow.
That's news.
I knew that people who had had seizures weren't supposed to take Ampera. I knew that. But that was kind of the extent of my knowledge about it. So, John, this is why, as patients, we need to do all of the fucking research. Because the onus is always put on us. You need to be the advocate. I saw these wonderful, fabulous, fantastic Ampera will make everything better for you commercials paid by the multi-billionaire fucking pharmacies, I mean, sorry, pharmacies. I don't have a problem with pharmacists.
Música con Movisum. Modo Bluetooth. Bluetooth conectado.
I think that's somebody with mic talking to mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just muted him.
So he took me off the Ampera. I'm on an anti-seizure medicine now, indefinitely. I had my 83-year-old mother drive me all the way to Raleigh because we were scared to death. I had to go back a week later. Mom's gone, and I've got to go back a week later for my annual MRI, and I was able to fit in the EEG that they wanted on the same day. So a 3-hour MRI and a 3-hour EEG in one day at the MS Center.
On top of a 3-hour drive to even get there.
And one of the reasons I stay with the neurologist that I'm with is because I have a lot of friends in Raleigh. So, we tend to go, even when my mom was driving, we stayed overnight with a friend of mine.
Well, that's great.
But on this trip, so my friend drove here over the weekend. The appointment the tests were on Monday. So he drove here over the weekend and picked me up and took me back to his house and would be able to get me to and from the appointment. But he had to leave the next day to go on a business trip and wouldn't be able to get me home until Thursday night. So I talked to a lot of people, and one of my friends who was laid off of work a couple months ago was able to drive me home on Tuesday. So I didn't have to stay in Raleigh all the way until Thursday. And this friend that drove me home comes to visit me very regularly. And we'd had the next weekend again on the books for months. The only weekend that she and her family could do it. Her 17-year-old son is graduating from high school this year. It's going to be the last time. We do a pumpkin carving party every year. Ellie and I have done it since 1998 or so. So forever. It's an annual thing. We have missed it occasionally, but it was Finn's last opportunity potentially, at least for a long time. Let me go back just a minute because the week that my mom was here, my uncle died. And he had dementia and had been, sick for years, but still. Okay, so there's that. That weekend I went to Raleigh was supposed to be a stay-at-home and rest weekend because everything happens here in the fall. The fall is amazing. All the fun to be had on the Outer Banks when you live here year-round is in the fall. Some in the spring, but really it's the fall because everybody has been working their ass off all summer long. And they finally are getting to the point where they can start to get together. You haven't seen any of your real friends for all summer long months. And then schedule starts to open. So I was supposed to have 2 weeks with the weekend before Ellie brought her entire family to visit. But of course I didn't. And everybody out of love and concern is reaching out to me or visiting me, not realizing the energy any of that stuff takes. Just because they just don't know.
Andrea, have you expressed that to people that they need to not come as often, or they need to know that when they come, you may not have the energy for them?
To a degree, yes, but I also want to see them.
Of course.
And I want them to be there, and I want to talk to. So it's as much my fault. Absolutely, yes, 100%. And then the week before Ellie was supposed to be here, the Monday that I was in Raleigh for my tests, Lisa, my best friend down here, called me to tell me that her mother passed away Sunday night. And I've known this woman since 1988, and she was like a second mom to me. And she's had dementia. She's been struggling, so it's not like it's the biggest surprise. It's not like she hasn't been gone. I went through this with my dad. He had dementia too. It's awful. So I'm trying to console my friend. I'm trying to help her as best I can. We're just in the process of buying a radio station. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done for that. Ellie went to college with us, so she's known us since 1988. She's known Lisa's mom. She's part of us. So it's good that when she dropped me off on Tuesday, Lisa came over and the three of us were able to have some quality time, which was amazing but exhausting, energy draining.
That is for sure. But if your friends know you have MS, like they know your situation, right? So they should be
They
understanding.
know, but they don't necessarily understand, but they're also very, very good. They're amazing. Like, but Lisa's grieving her mother. And I don't want any of this to be about me. It's not about me. I want to be there for my friend.
Everybody grieves
And
differently. Everybody grieves
huh?
differently. I said everybody grieves differently. So it may be therapeutic for her to be able to come and be around you and help take care of you, because grief is, everybody deals with grief differently. So it might be something that she is enjoying, the fact that her friend needs her help too. So because she lost her mother. You get what I'm saying?
I
Everybody
hear
grieves
you. I hear you. I just know my friend.
There you go. I don't. So I'm just telling you more of a general statement.
Yes, I understand, and thank you. And you're right, like some of this is just like how am I perceiving it, right? And I'm agreeing that I did not handle my energy level appropriately.
But you acknowledge
But
it.
I felt the need, the desire, the requirement for my soul to be there. So and my friend that came with her family, her son and her husband and her 90-pound dog, she mothers me like crazy. She cooks, she brings the food to me, she knows where everything is. She she and I were roommates for years in college and then years after college. Like, so there's that level of familiarity. And and she does everything she can to keep me from having to use my energy. But, you know, she also just defers to me. It's ultimately my responsibility.
That is
And then
true.
the funeral was on Sunday before, and Ellie and her family, when they visit, they usually leave between 10 and 12. But they brought their clothing and wanted to at least, they couldn't stay for the entire funeral or the whole day because it was a long day of activity, I guess. I'll get to that. So they went to the viewing and sort of left before the service started. So they got me there. Actually, Ellie drove my car to the funeral or the funeral home because there wasn't room in the other in their car. And then when they left, I had arranged for a friend to bring me back at the end, to be my chauffeur for the rest of the day. So then there was this service, and there were I knew like everybody there. I knew all of Lisa's mom's aunts and uncles and all of Lisa's cousins and their families. I knew all of the friends that came to support Lisa and her brother Lee. Like I knew almost everybody there. And of course, everybody wants to talk, and nobody has seen each other all summer long because fall is just starting to get to that point. And so there was a lot of emotion, just even if I wasn't standing around, there was a lot of emotion. There was just a lot of energy used up. And then we went to the burial site, and that was all standing. And then we went back to Lisa's mom's house for a celebration of life. And everybody was there. Same thing as kind of at the funeral home, like everybody wants to talk about Karen Brickhouse and and I want to hear all of it. And there was a lot of food. There was a lot of love and support there. But I was just done. I was just done. And I got my ride to, yeah, I'll take you home whenever you want to go. And I went to Lisa and I just told her I was sorry. I had to go. I just couldn't. I maybe made it an hour. But by this time, that hour, it was 4:30 in the afternoon, and all of this had started at 1:00. Not to mention the lunch that the family and I went to at 11:00 that morning, or 11:30. So then there's group chats for different groups kind of friends, and there's several different groups that, oh, we've seen each other, it sort of sparked that we've got to get together. And so also my brother is having his 40th high school reunion here last weekend. And with the radio station, he had asked for some call outs and for some special songs and some things like that on the radio to really make his reunion kind of special. So not only are we grieving Lisa's mom, we've got all this business stuff that we got to take care of as well. And so the texts started coming out, and I think the first party was planned on Thursday, on Thursday. And one of the women in that group has moved to Durham because she has stomach cancer and she wanted to be closer to Duke. And they've removed part of her stomach, but they haven't been able to remove all of the cancer. And I don't know when the next time is, if I'll be able to see her again or what shape she'll be in. And the second one was on Friday night, and that was that was going to be a really fun party or group of girls. They're just super silly and super fun. And there was something on Saturday, probably my brother's reunion, because I went to the same high school. I know a lot of these same people. And I kind of wanted to, talk to some of these people. Hey, go home, listen to the radio station, talk about us, stuff like that. I had to cancel it all. I had to cancel everything. I haven't been able to do anything. I've gotten out of bed
You haven't, or you
and I've
have?
moved. Huh?
You have, or you have not?
I have not been able to do anything. Like, I've moved to this chair and I moved to my bed. And I don't know, this is what, 3 days in? I think it's Tuesday, right? It's not Wednesday?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
It's
Tuesday.
Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I just overdid it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have MS. I know better. I've done this before. I know not to do it. I wish I could say that this is the worst I've ever felt, but it's not. I will recover from this. I know I will, and I know how to do it. I am playing the pity card for missing all the fun, especially with all the bad that I've been going through. Like, I needed the reprieve. But my body is like, oh, hell no. Uh-uh. No, no, no more. No
The
more.
body tends to take over with what you want to do.
Exactly. Yes.
And it sucks. So you have to accept it. Unless you want to kill
And
yourself.
that right
trying to
there
do it.
is what is the trouble that I have, Alyssa. Right. That's kind of the point of me telling this big long story. Yes. That's
Yes.
exactly right. And I know better and I knew better. And when I was scheduling this fall, I scheduled time in between. but this health issue fucked up my entire plan. And so let me go back to that for a minute. Let me go back to why didn't my doctor spend more time telling me about this drug and what may or may not start happening? Why did he so when they took me off of this drug, I went and did a little Google search. It took me 5 minutes. And I found an article that says, yeah, Ampera can cause seizures, especially in patients over 50 years old. Why?
Wow.
Because it is processed through the kidneys. And so if you're not processing it well, it can build up. Well, the doctors can test everything else. Why can't they test for a buildup of Ampera in my blood? And why aren't they, if they can or can't, I mean, if they can, why aren't they doing it? I,
Rick, would you help me out here?
Well,
Sorry?
this is really what I've been thinking about since you started speaking. I mean, you've been going through these strokes for several months now, and it's kind of beyond me how your neurologist has completely overlooked it. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And at this point, I would be taking it up with them, with the neurologist big time, and telling him, look, you saw me have a couple of strokes. Why the heck didn't you come in and say to me, this could be the Ampera? What are you waiting for? Till I have a stroke that kills me?
Seizures.
Seizure. Excuse me.
Seizures,
That
not strokes.
yeah, seizures. I've been having these seizures. You're waiting until there's one that finishes me off.
He didn't know I was having seizures. I didn't even know it. I didn't know
Well,
what they were.
yeah, but going back to when you had that pottery class and they were at home, that was a long time ago. That was 2 or 3 months
No,
ago.
that was what started all of this in the end of September. That's what started it all. That's how
That's
we
when you
found
figured
out.
out, right?
Because
Yeah.
there were witnesses. There was somebody there to see it.
Right, but hadn't there been an issue with the pottery class even before that? I thought that this was going because I remember you talking to us about this back in the summer.
Now, I have been complaining about brain fog for a long time, right? And I'll tell you another thing, coming off Ampera, the brain fog is really lessening.
Oh, wow.
I'm getting
And
clearer slowly, but it's happening.
Andrea, can I just say something to you? I just want to give you props for all that you have just gone through, like the many layers. You've got your own personal health. You've got your friends that you care and love about very deeply that are going through grieving. So you're grieving with them and in your own way for the relations that you had with those people. You've had some very, exciting things that you were looking forward to, and some things that you had to deal with because of, it sounds like, your work or the radio station, and then the responsibilities for your brother and making sure that his time is good and all of these things. And, I have to say to you that, we do the best that we can in trying to plan out our lives and make sure that we have time to rest and recover, because we know in here what the reality is going to be with all these different things that we want to do. And our old self thinks that we should still do some of these things, so we try. And we think, okay,
I'm going to pay the price, but that's okay because it's worth it, you know? And I used to say I have FOMO, but it's actually COMO. It's the knowledge of missing out. And that's the hardest part. It's not fear of missing out, it's knowledge of missing out because you know damn well what you're missing. So you choose to spend some of your energy on these things and you think, okay, I'm just going to have to recover. But then one little thing comes up, one extra little thing comes up on top of that. And before you know it, that that card is just tilted completely the other way. And now where you think that, okay, I thought I could recover, like I might take a couple days to recover, then you've got, you know, an additional couple of things that have just thrown you completely over the edge, in addition to some significant personal health things that are happening that you did not expect or plan for. So I hear you saying, I knew I would, like, I know I've gone through this before, but that doesn't change how shitty it feels and how endless it might feel right now. And I can completely relate to you. I, I just, you know, you are not alone and that doesn't help you feel any better. But maybe being at this group and being able to share with all of us. And I mean, I don't know if you saw me doing this, like I am
I
nodding
did.
my head completely. I can barely stand right now. Like this last week, suddenly I can hardly stand and pivot. And I used to be able to walk with the rollator. Like, what the hell is going on? You know, like, but I've got some other things going on. I understand what it is. It doesn't make it feel any better, and it doesn't make it feel like there's ever going to be an end to it, even though, you know, you have a little bit better time here and there. But at the time, it feels shitty, and you're allowed to feel shitty about it and frustrated. Like, those are all legit, real feelings that you're having. I think I said at the beginning that I hope that we can all have grace with each other as we, you know, stumble through this meeting today. And I said that because I am repeating it to myself over and over again, and it's not easy. It's not easy to remember to repeat it and just give myself grace and let myself, like, just let it be. It's MS. You cannot fight it. You are strong and independent and fierce, but that doesn't matter. It's still MS. It's going to win in whatever way it's going to win. My job is to try to just allow myself to cope as best I can with what I have at the moment. And that changes so much day to day. But you know, it doesn't change the fact that it feels really shitty and frustrating when you know, you learn some information about a medication that you wish that you would have known more about. And you know, you're mad at the doctor, you're mad at big pharma, you're mad at yourself because why didn't I take the time to research it? I feel the same way about some medications that I've had to change recently. So, you know, these are all legit valid feelings, and you're allowed to feel upset about it. I just want to encourage you to just try your very best to just rest and let that be what it is, and know that it's not going to stay like this forever. It's not going to stay like this forever. You're either going to
Exactly.
figure out a better way to cope with what your new normal is, which is what I'm really working on, and I'm saying out loud so that my brain hears it, or it's going to improve and you're going to be okay, great. You know, today's a good day and I can do more things. Just even talking about the text groups and everything, you know, like yesterday I had 3 different people call me back to back to back. And I was just like, I need to talk to all these people, but I don't want to talk to even one of them right now, but I had to. And I knew how much energy it was taking, and it pissed me off, but I had to. So therefore, the afternoon was spent in my chair, not even with the TV on because I couldn't handle it. So, you
Yep.
know, like you just, like some days you're just bounced around like a pinball in a pinball machine. And that's just the reality of coping with life sometimes. But there's a lot going on for you, and I just want to just give you big props and a big hug, like a virtual big hug, Andrea.
Thank you, Carmen. That was an absolutely perfect summary of what took me like half an hour to get out, and I cut it, I think, too. Rick, you should turn that into a commercial for these groups. Like that was amazing.
Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
I I already sent Carmen my props in the chat. She did a great job. Michelle, I'd love to hear what you have to say on this
Mhm.
because I have a feeling you relate very well, and love to hear your perspective on what you have to say to Andrea.
Oh. Well, Andrea, yeah, my heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry for your losses and what you've had to go through with the medical and the drugs up, that's so challenging when we have to figure out the difficult ways the meds that don't work for us. So, and yeah, and the doctors that aren't always giving us the time that we definitely deserve. So, and that then the having to go out and do our own, homework or become our own doctors. Yeah, I always that's challenging. I mean, I
Oh,
know.
no, right, because
Yeah.
we're supposed to
Mhm.
advocate for
Yeah.
ourselves.
It's
All
hard.
that means
Yeah.
is it's your responsibility. The
Yeah.
onus is on you.
And I
That's
think
what
that, you know,
advocate for yourself is, just different words for that.
yeah, exactly. It's that. It is true. And it's but I think that it's like I think when I look at what I'm dealing with is like there's days where like just like it just sucks. And like, I kind of just say to myself, okay, well, today's going to be one of those days and I'm just going to give into it. And I'm just going to go and I'm just going to try to find, I think, whatever little happiness I can, usually sometimes when I wake up on days where like really things aren't going my way. And there's this great book and this one professor, I think he's at Berkeley, and it's about awe. And what is the awe I can find in today? AWE. And even if it's something small, like right now, I'm staring at the Sound, which is the big body of water in Seattle, and the mountains that have just got a recent dusting of snow. And it's like and just a little bit of fall color that's showing, and it's that is a beautiful awe for me to see, and just the kind of the joy that that'll bring, even if I'm really feeling crappy,
That's
and just
why I
letting that
moved to
soak
the
into
Outer
me.
Banks.
And I know where you live is there's so much of that around you. And, even if I'm having a really bad day, if I could just look out the window, if I can't even get outside or even go out to my porch and just let the sounds of nature or whatever natural beauty is around, just let it soak into me so I can at least feel a little bit of small happiness, even if things are going really bad, and just let that sit with me for a little bit. And as much of those little tiny moments of awe that I can bring inside my system really help.
Absolutely.
And
And
wonderfully
you
said,
know what?
Michelle.
I have been so thankful to all the people, even the people that didn't know about the seizure,
Mhm.
but before the funeral, my phone was blowing up with, "Do you need a ride? Can I pick you up? Can I take you home? Do you need anything?"
And that's actually
And
when I
it
was hearing your story, what I was hearing the most. And I was saying to myself, I was saying, wow, she is so fortunate because she has such an awesome support system. You really do. And there's a lot of people that don't have that, myself included, and to have that kind of support system so close by, that's so wonderful. Yeah, that's so wonderful to have those close of friends that you have really, that for so long, those
but
relationships.
it's
That's
also
really
why
nice.
it's so important to go to those
Yeah.
get-togethers
But you
so
also,
that I can maintain that
mhm.
support system, because
They
it takes work to keep it together.
It is true, but they also do understand, I think, on a lot of levels more than we realize that, what we are
They
going
do.
through, and they give you grace. And,
They do.
and the ones, that don't, I think that people show up in the best way they can when they can, just like us.
Yep.
And I've seen that, some people show up when the people that show up are the ones sometimes I think I least expect them to, or I don't think they're going to, and they do. And so, and other people can't sometimes. And I give them grace too, because I know that's me as well. So, and I think another thing that I've noticed since having MS is also that it's going to sound really weird, but I'm not as important as I sometimes think I am. And sometimes if I can't show up to something, that's okay too, and I kind of give into it, a lot more than I used to. I used to think I had to be there, And now I realize, I can't do everything anymore. I just
Right.
can't. And it's just like, I just can't. And that no is a final statement now. That's it, period. No, I can't, and that's just a disease, and it's all right. I got to take care of myself because then I can be better the next time. So
It's the learning that, Michelle, I think is the hard part, right?
it is
Like it
so
takes us
hard.
time to experience some of
Even
these
when you learn
shittier
it, it's
days.
the accepting.
And it's the having
Yes.
to relearn it, over and over
Hmm.
again. I mean, God knows I'm not perfect at that at all. But it's like, the times that I do get it, it just, yeah, just the giving in that, okay, they'll live without me. I've seen it, happen. And it's just like, that's okay. I can't be there.
So
It's that acceptance,
I'm
yes.
sort of just keeping an eye on the clock, and I wanted to make sure that Carmen, you didn't need some time for yourself today.
No, actually, I'm keeping things a bit locked up right now just because I'm in a bit of a turmoil, and I appreciate the offer. I think I've really shared the gist of what I'm going through, and I have a lot happening, and I'll catch up at our next meeting. At our next meeting. I can relate to some of your seizure stuff though, because I will just share this one thing that my husband has been having some small seizures, and he's my driver. And so not only am I not driving now he's not driving. And
Ooh.
our van with the lift is only driven by him. It's actually his work vehicle still, so it's very limited. And so I'm kind of locked down. But anyway, it's just that's my reality right now. And I have taxi vouchers that I can, take a cab or connect with HandyDart if I need to. But to be honest, I just can't even really brave my stair lift right now because my legs are so shitty. So it doesn't even hardly matter. But that's kind of where I'm at. And it's just a lot. But I think we're all carrying a lot. Right back at you, Andrea. We're just all carrying a lot and we all go through these, I want to say peaks and valleys, but they feel like a lot of frickin' valleys. So just is.
Um, everything okay with you with fire? No fire issues so far this
No,
year?
no, no, we're good. We're good. We've had a lot around us, and we actually have had a firebug right in town on a small mountain that's right in town. The police were chasing him as he lit like 3 different fires in dry grass. But we've had a lot of rain in the last week, so we're feeling
Oh,
a lot
good.
better now and safer. Yeah, thankfully. There's definitely been a lot of fire around us, but we're okay.
And I have one thing to share, but I just want to check in with Mike. Anything you want to bring up, Mike? You're
Oh,
muted. You'll have to unmute.
Carmen, do you have to unmute?
yeah,
Oh,
I
There
just,
you go. You're
yep.
good.
I am technically challenged, and I appreciate everyone's forbearance. But Rick, I did reach out to, and thank you for talking with me about awkwardness. I did reach out to Mayo Clinic, and my doctor there said I am on the old end of things, and I have to watch out for infections if I were to go on awkwardness. I just decided not to, and I'm comfortable with that. But I did think about it, and for a couple of days, it felt good. But reality is different, and I'm fine with my decision. I know there's a lot of people in our group who are on Ocrevus. I wish I were one of them, but if it's not, it's not.
Okay. Okay. Well, before we go, I'm going to share my screen. And I think I think I can do this. I hope I can do this. Except where the heck is it?
You got to
Uh,
connect in for real with some people, didn't you? You're going to
yes.
share some pictures or a picture.
Yes. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So hopefully you can see that.
Aha.
Can you see
Uh-huh.
it?
Yes.
So this was in Lincoln, Nebraska yesterday, Sunday. Miss Kim drove across from Des Moines. She drove west 2 or 3 hours to meet us in Lincoln, Nebraska, where we had a memorial for one of our AnCanners, Ken Mason, who I don't think any of you know, but he was a wonderful guy, and I had been actually supporting him longer than anybody else. He first came into our support groups in 2012, I think it was. And he passed away, I think it was June the 1st. He was on a mental health meditation and yoga retreat in Colorado, but it was actually for him to take psilocybin, which he had been wanting to do for a long, long time. And he did take 3 doses of psilocybin, and right before he had a stroke, he said that he just felt a lot of love, which is really great. He was one of the funniest people you'll ever meet, and you can go to Ken-Mason. I think it's ken-mason.com, and you'll be able to see some of the celebrations. He was in the habit of telling really bad jokes, so I actually did tell a joke. I was the only person who did, and I think the joke went down quite well, according to some people who were watching virtually and some people who were there. And Kim didn't come up. She wanted to get back to Des Moines, and she didn't know Ken anyway. But we had a great time together. We went to a place called Taste of Louisiana, which was kind of like just really a dive diner, but the food was incredible. The third person in the picture, you saw him briefly, is Bill Franklin, who also came out, who's chief operating officer and board president and what have you. And this was taken in the Sunken Garden in Lincoln, which is quite a nice. It's nice. It's small. It's nice. Home of the University of Nebraska, state capital of Nebraska. Da, 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 da. Anyway, I really wanted to show, because I also think it's a lovely picture of Kim. So, and for Michelle's benefit, Kim is our lead moderator, and she is a retired doctor of pharmacy, PharmD. She doesn't work anymore, largely because of her MS. And right now she's trying to straighten out the administration in their family business, and she's doing quite well with that. So, and her mom has a medical issue, so that's why she's not here today. So anyway, that was it. That's what I wanted to say to you, and I just wanted to put that on the recording.
How great that you got to spend some time in real life together. I mean, these virtual groups are awesome because we can connect with so many
Right.
people all over the place. But that
Right.
energy that you share when you're in person is just so rejuvenating, right?
It's great because I've never met in person before. This is a first time, and I think we brought Kim in very soon after we started the group. We started the group because Our web designer had MS and was relatively young, Jackie Zimmerman. And we also had another lady who was young who did a webinar for us recently. She doesn't come to the group anymore, who was in school training to be a therapist. And then somehow or other we connected, and it's got to be 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. I don't know. I'd have to check with Hannah. But it's a long time ago, and this is the first time we ever met, and it was great. We got to see her car that she's so happy with and proud, that has a 360 vision that she loves, and two sunroofs and this and that. And so yeah, we did really well, and just was really thrilled we could do this at the same time. And God bless her for coming out to visit, for driving out to this. We didn't have a car there, so anyway, that's it.
That's
I'll tell you
awesome.
what, thanks, Rick and everyone. I gotta go.
Okay,
Bye, Mike. Nice to
I think
see
we
you.
all do. I think we all do. And Michelle, please come back and sign up for the reminders, and maybe we'll see you in the writing class and what have you. You'll get to see him next time.
Yeah, I am signed up for the reminders. That's how I remembered. That's how I knew this one was happening.
Okay. Yep. All right. Well, add the writing class to your reminders.
Yes, I will.
All right. Okay.
It was nice meeting everyone.
Great
Bye.
meeting you.
Thanks,
Good
everyone.
night, everybody. Good night.
Take care.
Night.
Take care.
Oh, goodbye. No, good night. Good afternoon.
Be